So I bought the Wowgo 3 about a month ago, and it's time for the 100-mile mark. So I'm going to take it out on my favorite path, which is the bike path by the Bosque. And I'm just going to kind of tell people what my impressions of the board are in the first 100 miles. So, cool. So I'm heading to my favorite place to ride, and it's this bike path. I hope it doesn't rain. It looks like it's gonna rain. And it's this bike path, sorry about the mask, but that's the law here right now. But it's this bike path right by the Bosque, and I can just really like let go on the board. I don't have to worry about crazy cracks in the road or whatever. So my impressions right off is that it didn't take me long. I mean, I've ridden boards my whole life, long boards more recently, especially as a 6'2", 280-pound man, is that I was really worried if I got this board, it wasn't going to push me, which is not the case. As you can see, it hauls ass. So I mean, I could sit here and cruise along. I mean, I haven't topped it out at the 24 mile an hour, just because it's, as a big guy, it gets a lot of wheel wobble, like speed wobble at that, when I get around 20. So I haven't really wrecked it yet. I've gone off the board, but I've managed to catch myself, if I could knock on wood somewhere. So far, the farthest I've been is about 5 miles, and that burns up about 2 bars out of the 5. And so I feel like probably between 8 and 10 is probably what I could get out of my size. But I'm also running in the second, on the second level, not on the first, which only goes up to about 13 miles an hour, which is fine when you start, but you kind of want to go a little faster, so I like to get it up to about 17 or 18 at least. Let's see what happens. About to go on this road. It's like the worst. It's really weird, like when you get out on a board, and you start riding around your neighborhood, you realize which ones are the worst streets in your area, where like when you're in a car you just don't know. But when you get on a board, you're just like, you dread certain roads, and this is one of them. So I thought that dog was gonna come after my ass. He looked like he was jumping the fence. I was about to go throw it into turbo mode. Man, I don't know what I'd have done actually, because it's kind of a dead end, except for a bridge here. But it really handles really well, and the deck, when you go over stuff, you're afraid like you're gonna stop on it, but the deck handles it really well. Ooh, couldn't make that turn. And then it handles hills pretty well. It's really amazing actually. I hope we don't get caught in the rain. It's my favorite way to go. We're kind of by the Bosque in Albuquerque, by the river. There's a zoo over here. So far, man, it's one of my favorite things I've ever done. I try to take the board out at least 2 to 3 times a day. Like if I need to go get a coffee, I'll go out and take the board, you know, rather than drive. And it's just a really awesome way to like get in tune with your neighborhood surroundings, especially if you live in an urban area. It's just amazing. It's like, you know, you get out and you really get a feel for like, you know, kind of a zen in the art of motorcycle maintenance kind of feel, where you're not behind a windshield of a car, if you've ever read that book, but you really kind of get a feel for the environment a little more. And it's funny, like people give you a lot of weird looks when you ride by. It's kind of crazy. Yeah. I know people that don't know New Mexico, it does rain here. It's weird, but we have our monsoon season, which is in August, but that doesn't mean it can't come early, so. Yeah. It's right. It's awesome. Hold on. You want to try it? Yeah. So far I haven't got the 12 to 14, but I think if I ran it, I might try it out where I do it, because I believe that's in on the first level, because there's first level, second level, third level, and then turbo. Which turbo and the third level go the same top speed, which is 24. I don't know that for a fact. I haven't done it, but it definitely, if you put it in turbo, it definitely has more torque. See, that's just so beautiful right there. Nice little pond, fishing pond. So amazing. But yeah, and it's crazy because like people will stop and they're like, "Is that electric?" And you're like, "Yeah." The guy's like, "How much has your electric bill gone up?" I can't imagine it being an issue compared to like how much times I don't get in my car and drive it. So I, you know, I mean, that guy rides his bike obviously, but I don't know if you saw him. But it's crazy because like I get out on this bike path and I pass bikers. They don't necessarily like it, but you know, what are they gonna do? Catch me? I guess if I hit something, fly off. But being a average skater back in the day, I was never really good, but being able to like stand up on the board and ride it has actually been a lot of help. So if you can't afford one and you want to like, you know, save up for one, maybe get a longboard, just a regular longboard, and you know, learn the balance part on that. You know, I just remember when I was a kid, this was like the dream, was to like have a skateboard that just rode. I remember when I saw like gas powered ones and I was like, man, that'd be the most amazing shit ever. But I don't even know how those things back in the day would break, or if they had brakes, or you know, you just hit shit. I don't know. Who knows? Oh, here we go. We're gonna go under, or kind of at the end of this trail. It's gonna end up at kind of the river. I'm gonna go under this overpass and then kind of turn around. So. I'll let my leg rest for a second. Like your back leg gets a little tired. At least mine does anyway. Phew. And a lot of people out there, it's good. All right, head back home. But being a big guy, I'm 6'2", about 280. I was worried about it not going up hills like I'm going right now. I was worried about it not being able to hold my weight. I thought it would sag. It has not. You know, I can get up to pretty good speed. It's pretty much the best thing I've purchased in quite a long time. Like being in quarantine and not being able to get out and hang out with friends or whatever, being able to finish my work and then grab the board, you know, whether it's lunchtime, whether it's the end of the day, being able to grab my board and just like take it out for a ride has really changed how like my mood has been. I just feel refreshed and like I've had it, you know, like fulfillment, you know. I'm just like, oh man, you know. So if I'm having a rough day or just tired of sitting, it just feels really good to get out and just fly along, you know. I don't know what's gonna happen when the winter comes around, because that's gonna suck, but it does snow here. Pretty neat, nice, long, flat, so you can kind of get, like, it's really nice to find a place like this where you can just get out and just rip it, you know, just throw the throttle all the way down, feel the wind on you and just go, you know. So I'm pretty excited to see, you know. Oh Jesus, snake, there's a snake in the, wow, that was a snake on the pathway. Holy crap. Oof. I was trying to figure out what that bump was. Almost ran him over. Wow, that was nuts. Oh, it's starting to sprinkle a little bit, so hopefully I can make it back home before so. So the first 100 miles have been 100 miles are the most fun I've had in a long time. And I want to see, I think I'll do a video when I hit maybe 500 and then maybe 1,000, so I can tell you like what the wear and tear is at that point. So far everything's held up pretty well. The only modifications I've done to the board were I ordered harder bushings for the trucks. Because of being just a bigger guy, I wanted a little bit stiffer of a truck, you know? And it seems to have made a difference, you know? I just went on Amazon and got the hardest ones I could find. I think they were 97As, I believe. Man, I better pay attention. It seems like there are snakes on the road. That's crazy. Oh, big crack. But overall, man, it's been one of the best purchases I've ever done. So if you're sitting on the fence and you're like, well, you know, maybe I'm a bigger guy, I don't know if I want to purchase this because I don't know if it'll work for me. I'm 6'2", 280, man, and it, you know, I'm cruising right now like 18 miles an hour down a bike path because I have it in the second gear. It'll take you, you know, it'll haul ass with you on it. Oh man, yeah, it's starting to sprinkle. Woo! I will say, like, the other thing too is, like, I was really shocked at how well the brakes work. Like when you're heading down a hill, you can just sit there and hit the brakes, and I mean, we have some decently steep hills here, and you just kind of thread the brakes a little, you know. I'm kind of wondering, like by like 500 and by like 1,000 miles, what the brakes will be like though. I don't know how they actually work. So see, there's the arroyo. Gotta stay away from the arroyo. The La Llorona will come and get you. Back on the shitty road again. When you ride on a shitty road, it'll start numbing your legs a little bit. I mean, the board flexes, but it doesn't flex that much when it's like real gravelly. Let's hit it. Oh man. Yeah, it's crazy when you go over bumps and stuff. You know, the deck just flexes completely, and it's kind of a cool feeling actually, like kind of like shock absorber kind of feeling. I could tell after a little bit of a ride, whenever I try to, like, I slow down to, like, you know, say an intersection or something, and then I hit the gas, I have noticed that, like, after I've ridden it for a while, then some of the power strain, that I don't have quite the torque that I had from whenever I first take it out on the road. But it'll get up to speed. But if you live in a place where it has lots of stops, it may not be as fun. But if you live in an urban area and there's lots of asphalt and concrete, man, this is the coolest thing I've found to get around, man. It really amazes you. Like, yeah, first when you first start riding it, you're afraid to like run over or anything, because you're afraid it's gonna, you know, especially if you rode skateboards growing up, you're afraid you're gonna hit it and like fly off, and then you just kind of have to trust it to go over a lot of stuff. Take a break here. Yeah, we're cooking along 18 miles an hour, full throttle, second gear. Watching people just run lights. Oh yeah, it's gonna rain here in a second. Here it comes. In my arms. Oh, that was nice to get that. See, it was real nice to get a run out in the day. You know, I try to do at least one big long one during the day, and then, you know, some small ones when I'm going to get coffee and whatnot. You just feel, you know, refreshed, and like it feels really great, you know. So yeah, that was a 100-mile ride. Talk to you guys later.